Greater light. Somebody ready to watch a movie with me. Who had ready to watch a movie? Oh, the whole thing about this social experiment is we're not going to be watching the movie. That's why it's called Not by Sight. You know what? Now that I think about the word not, as I looked it up today, I know I have like a relative we call named Naughty, and you know, and we knew what I know what not meant, but I didn't think about it when it comes to the phonetics. And when my generation we started saying I ain't, there was something in our spirit that didn't want to say not. And then you would have our parents correcting us saying, you don't say I ain't. You say I'm not, will not. Don't use the contractions. When they created the contractions so they wouldn't be saying not. I will wickedness. I am wickedness. Not means wickedness. And now that I listen to the phonetics and we walk by faith and not by sight, sight is wickedness. Well, wicked by sight. So is it the sight of things that is the lie that keeps us bound? You'll hear me say, if you go through one of them 1,500 videos that I have, you'll hear me every now and then, because my brother, he was blind at birth. And you'll hear me something that my stepfather used to say all the time. I have family members that are witnesses. He may have said it at least 5 times a week, or maybe more, in all of our time growing up. Let's see, said the blind man. And the thing about truth and the light is blinding. Truth, if truth is the light is blinding to the facades and the reels and the visuals of life. And somebody who comes out of light, if they walk into darkness, you have to adjust to the darkness, right? But when you walk out of darkness into the light, you don't have to adjust. It just is. So as I watched this movie yesterday and thought about how now that I live and have adjusted to the way, the truth, and the light, and how when I listen to this movie or I watch it, it didn't seem, it was just hilarious that I could see through it. So I decided that today I would do an experiment of allowing the movie to play without the visual. But as I was preparing for this is a 2-hour movie, and it may be longer because there's commercials, and I may end up doing like part of it and then finishing it off tomorrow. I do want to read the plot and the theme of the movie. And earlier, I gave my rendition of the movie. I didn't see racism. I didn't see slavery. I didn't see a Mandingo being trained. I saw throughout the whole movie that everybody played their roles. No one had a problem with the roles that they were playing. And the only thing that caused the whole plantation and the whole system to crumble was when the young lady that came into the family, she hated her own family, came into the family of the Rose, and then she had secrets. And the one secret that she could have told the truth before she even got married destroyed the whole plantation. If she would have told the truth at the beginning, maybe the whole scene would have turned out to be different. That was my takeaway from the movie. But again, because it brought so much laughter for me, I wanted to share it in the not by sight way. Okay. Backtrack. So again, as I was setting up, I remember my grandmother stating and telling me stories when she was growing up on Cat Island, and how they didn't have TV and they didn't have cars. She didn't know about cars until she was almost grown. When she was elder, like a almost a teenager, and they left Cat Island. So but her experience with radios is she thought everything she heard on the radio was real. That is her tale before I was born into this realm. Now, her tale of how she thought everything was real on TV, I witnessed with my own eyes growing up. Before my mother and my stepfather got married, I remembered my grandmother going back and forth with my stepfather. At the time, he wasn't my stepfather. At the time, we called him Uncle Jackie. We called him Uncle Jackie. And it took me a minute before I called him daddy, but my sister immediately, it was daddy. But my grandmother's place was the place where he came and sat and did his numbers in between his shifts at work. He'd buy a plate for my grandmother. This my mother, him at the time, I'm not aware that whether him and my mother was dating or not. I just know we were, most of us in the on the Dixie Demons were calling him Uncle Jackie. So They were going back and forth, and she said no. He was telling her that wrestling wasn't real because wrestling was one of her favorite things. And he said, none of that stuff on TV is real. He was telling her soap operas wasn't real. They're just actors. None of the stuff on TV was real. And my grandmother was upset. She was upset. She said, no, that is, it's real. She was going back to remember this. And then finally she realized and accepted that the wrestling wasn't real. Because I was a teenager and she still felt like the soap operas were real characters. They were real life. That's what they did in real life. She thought Perry Mason was real. She thought all of that stuff was real. So that's with my own eyes. So can you imagine how many things in life, in the news, in the media, if we came to the realization that maybe a lot of this stuff isn't real and it's just all an act to keep you blinded from the truth? I don't know. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. But let's get started. Before I click the play button, I'm gonna have to do a test. I'm gonna test to see if you can hear the movie, and then I'm gonna read. Let me read a little bit about Mandingo. Now, the people that you see on the screen, if you go and try to look for the movie, there's a couple of scenes that I thought she was Angela Bassett. That's Brenda Sykes. And then Perry King. Brenda Sykes and Perry King, but they are not the main characters of the movie. They're not the main characters. Well, yeah, they are, but the movie is literally supposed to be about Mandingo. But let me tell you a little bit about the story. Okay. So Mandingo is a 1975 historical melodrama film. I think it's a mellow comedy that focuses on the Atlantic slave trade in the antebellum South. The film's title refers to the Mandinka people who were referred to as Mandingos and described as being good slaves for fighting matches. Produced by Dino De Laurentiis for Paramount Pictures, the film was directed by Richard Fleischer. The screenplay by Norman Wexler was adapted from a 1957 novel, Mandingo. See, none of this says information taken from national historical libraries of historical factual paperwork and national archives of heritage documents. None of it. Let me continue reading. The screenplay by Norman Wexler was adapted from a 1957 novel, Mandingo, by Kyle Arnstadt, and the 1961 play Mandingo by Jack Kirkland, which was derived from the novel. The film stars Perry King as Hammond. Hammond, have you heard? The son of a cruel slave owner, Warren Maxwell. James Mason plays the cruel slave owner, but Perry King is the son who not as cruel until he couldn't take the lives of his wife. The lives of his wife destroyed him. Okay. Hammond to rape the female slaves on his father's plantation. grandchildren with no black ancestry. So that's part of the myth that might be in the book, but that's not the way it shows in the movie. It doesn't show Hammond act like he loved every single one of them. He was seemed to be nice and kind. Huh? Hammond marries Blanche, Susan George, his cousin, who becomes jealous that he pays more attention to his black lover, Ellen, Brenda Sykes, than to his wife, leading Blanche to forcing the Mandingo fighting slave Meade, Ken Norton, into a sexual relationship with her. Mandingo received negative reviews upon release. Oh, okay, so they had negative, they didn't have award shows and stuff. Oh, okay. However, retrospectively, the film reception became much more favorable. It has been variously seen in big budget exploitation film made by a major studio, a series of film about American slavery, examining historical horrors committed against African Americans, or as a work of camp. It was a box office hit and was followed by the sequel Drum. Oh, really? I gotta look for that one, which starred Norton as a different character and Warren Oates as Hammond. So Warren Oates played Hammond. Hammond, Hammond, have you heard? Okay, so now let me read the plot. In the deep south of the United States prior to the American Civil War, Falconhurst is a rundown plantation owned by widower Warren Maxwell and largely run by his son Hammond. Hammond and his cousin Charles visit a plantation where both men are given black women out of hospitality. Hammond chooses Ellen, who is a virgin. Both she and Hammond watch as Charles abuses and rapes the other woman, with Charles claiming that she likes it. Hammond asks Ellen if this is true, and she says no. Hammond then sleeps with Ellen. Warren Maxwell pressures him to marry. So Hammond chooses his cousin, Blanche, who is desperate to get out of her house to escape her brother Charles. It is implied that she had an incestuous relationship with her brother. After their wedding night, Hammond was sure that she was not a virgin, a claim Blanche denied. On their way back from their honeymoon, Hammond returns to the plantation where Ellen is kept and purchases her as a sex slave. Eventually, he becomes to genuinely care for her. Meanwhile, Hammond purchases a Mandingo slave named Ganymede, nicknamed Meade. The slave works for Hammond as a prize fighter. He is forced to soak in a large cauldron of very hot salt water to ostensibly toughen his skin. Hammond also breeds Meade with Pearl, even though Pearl is a blood relation of Meade. Hammond makes a great deal of money betting on Meade's fights. Now, Pearl is the one, if you was listening to me earlier, that I played where she was also a virgin. And when his daddy, when they had the doctor come to see what was wrong with her, she was in there crying. And she said, Master, I's too black for you. You don't want me. You don't want this. I'm too black for you. And they were like, nah, you be quiet. It's your time. You do. You. But it in the way the movie was fixed up, he didn't rape her. They sat down and talked about what her mother wanted her to do, and he talked about what his father wanted him to do. So it's like they were fixed to do it. Versus with Ellen, he wasn't fixed with Ellen. He looked like he fell in love with her before he even had sex with her. Rejected by Hammond, Blanche becomes a slovenly alcoholic who does nothing all day long. This is the wife who had the secret. While Hammond is on business trip alone, Blanche discovers Ellen is pregnant. Correctly assuming the baby is Hammond's, Blanche beats Ellen. Ellen flees but falls down some stairs and miscarries. Hammond, who had promised Ellen that her baby would be free, returns to Falconhurst and discovers Ellen has lost the baby. Threatened with bodily harm by Warren, Ellen does not tell him how she miscarried. Hammond gives Ellen a pair of ruby earrings and she wears them while serving an evening meal. Hammond gave the matching necklace to Blanche, who becomes enraged to find that Ellen being publicly favored by Hammond. Hammond leaves her on another business trip, taking Ellen with him. A drunken Blanche demands that Meade comes to her bedroom. Although the other slaves attempt to stop him, Meade does as he is ordered. Blanche says she will accuse Meade of rape if he didn't have sex with her. This is one of those where he was damned if he did, or damned if he did. She said, she said, look, if you don't have sex with me, I'm going to accuse you of rape. So he was forced to spend the night with her, which he does on several occasions. Hammond returns to the plantation. A great deal of time has passed since Hammond and Blanche's marriage, and Warren Maxwell is eager for a grandchild. Sensing that the marriage is troubled, Warren locks Hammond and Blanche in a room together and refuses to let them out until they reconcile. They appear to do so, and sometime later, Blanche announces she is pregnant. But when the baby is born, it is clear the child is a mixed race. To avoid the scandal, the child, on doctor's orders, is allowed to bleed to death from the umbilical cord. Sickened at Blanche's sexual indiscretion, Hammond asks the doctor if he has the poison he uses on old slaves and horses. He pours the poison into the toddy for Blanche. An outraged Hammond seeks out Meade, intending to kill him. As Hammond attempts to force Meade into a boiling cauldron of water, Meade tries to tell him that Blanche blackmailed him into having sex with her. Hammond shoots Meade twice with the rifle, and the second shot throws Meade into the boiling water. Hammond uses a pitchfork to hold him down. In a fit of fury, the slave Agamemnon, that's the house one who told, I'll tell you about it later, picks up the rifle and aims at Hammond. When Warren calls him crazy nigga, now this is when he been calling him crazy to his face all that time. And every time he called him crazy, he said, you think you got a soul? He say, oh, nah, master, not an old crazy old nigga like me. I ain't got no soul, nigga. I mean, master. That's how Agamemnon, that's how he would respond. Oh, master, I'm good with whatever you call me. Nope, don't hide me away, master. And then when he get back to the other slaves, he talk with all his properness and reading and education, you know. But that was, I guess, the last time he said to old man Warren, you ain't gonna call me a crazy nigga no more. So he calls him a crazy nigga and demands that he put down a gun, and the slave shoots and kills Warren. As he runs away, Hammond kneels helpless next to Warren's lifeless body. And all of this, again, everybody was happy with their script and their role. And everything was good on the plantation until Blanche came with her little white lie. All right, so let's get it started. Let me see. I want to make sure that y'all gonna hear it.
I was born in this time to never be free. Born in this time to never be free. Waiting on my time for freedom now. It's too far up ahead of me. Ain't on my feeling. That's all I ever own.
Perry King,
you know my feeling.
Richard Ward,
That's all I ever own.
Lillian Heyman,
Well, no, happiness is one
and Brenda Sykes as Ellen.
I
Roy Paul, G2 Chumbabuka, Paul Benedict. Y'all know Paul Benedict is the one that played Bentley on Jefferson's.
I don't understand. I don't know who to blame. Well, I don't understand. And I don't know who to blame. Yeah, you know, I just keep on living. I just keep on living the same. I am so tired, but I can't take my rest. Yeah, I'm so tired, but I can't take my rest. Yeah, you know, my back is so warm that my hands feel like stone. Dear Lord in heaven, can you hear my lonesome cry? Oh, dear Lord in heaven, can you hear my lonesome cry? Oh, save me from trouble.
Yes.
Trouble and despair.
Live.
I was born in this time.
Watching doing the movie.
To never be free. Well, I was born in this time. To never be free. Waiting on my time for freedom. Well, way up there, yeah. Well, up there, yeah.
I don't know. Let me let the movie play. I'm live. You can talk to me in the chat.
Way up there, yeah.
Yeah.
How much for this wench and sucker?
She ought to be worth $650.
That's too much. I can't get more than 7 for them in New Orleans. Shut down your pain. Bend over.
You're wasting time. He ain't got hemorrhoids.
You alter some of them?
My pa never altered a nigger, nor have I. On this plantation, there's no altered horse, no nigger. If the bucks were scared of that, I wouldn't be blaming them. This buck's Cicero, a runner. Talks a lot, talks, preaches, stops the others from doing, else he's a prime worker. We can deal on him.
Go fetch.
Okay. Hold up. All right. So the part where he was checking, they made one of the men bend down. And that's why he said he don't have no hemorrhoids. So the ones that they call bucks, that's what they was used for. They literally would buck them in. So not only were the women their sex slaves, the men were too. And then the one that's called that he just told him to fetch, he let him know he caused a lot of trouble. And he liked to run away, and that's why he got the brand on him. because all of them ain't branded.
He moves fast. A sound buck. Good for the sugar cane. He might last 7-8 years. $1,500 for the 3 of them. That's this one here and them 2.
2,500.
Done.
Don't want to see another batch?
Now that's enough for now.
All right, ma'am. Send them back to quarters. See those $3 is chained in the barn tonight.
Yes, Mr. Maxwell, sir. Back to quarters, everybody.
Papa Brownlee is the correct cognate man, is it not, sir?
Yes, it's sir.
Ma'am, this here's Mr. Brownlee.
Right, John, by the honor of your company.
Well, I'm right, John, my own self.
Mr. Brownlee is a trader.
Well, you're gonna have slaves. You've got to have traders.
That's right. You can't eat them and you can't call them under.
Papa? Papa Doc Redfield coming by Big Pearl.
Now, no. If she has vomit or temperature, she got to be isolated.
No, Doc Redfield, nothing like that.
Well, let's see. All right, now, Pearl.
Get.
What ails you, Doc?
Doc Redfield, the best veterinarian anywhere around here.
She a virgin?
Oh, well, I reckon. But you can't ever be sure about a black wench.
You see?
She pure. I be saving her like Master Maxwell tell me.
She a Mandingo wench. You don't let just any bug get to her.
Big Pearl, you're the only one can tell us most certain. Well, nothing ailing the wench, except she craving in the butter heat. She's hipped, plumb hipped.
Oh, Doc Redfield, nothing he don't know about nigger nature, nigger symptoms.
Hammond, son, you pleasure her, she get better. You don't, she fall off.
I'm too black, Master, sir. I'm not fitting for you.
Master's duty to pleasure the wenches.
She don't look sick now. She ran out that bed crying.
I give 3,000 dollars for a Mandingo bug. Need one, please do. When I was your age, Hammond, there wasn't no 14-year-old virgins around Falcon Hills. Hammond craves the bright skin ones. But even you don't, Hank.
Oh goodness, here go commercial. Let me mute it. All right, so the commercials are going on right now. So right now the scene is showing the twin boys fanning the table as they eat. And they're gonna go into the scene where they talk about religion, whether a black man has a soul or whatever. And you'll hear how that goes. But again, the young girl, which is they call her Big Pearl, she's supposed to be mated with her own kind. So that's what they said. She not really supposed to be broken in by nobody. So they needed another Mandingo on her. She not supposed to have been with a black, a buck, a nigger, or not even the white man. That as a Mandingo, she was supposed to be with her own kind. And as she was laying there, again, she is sick and not feeling good, but it didn't seem like she was not feeling that good. She let him know. She was like, Master, I'm too black. I'm too black for you. You don't want none of this. And they like, you got to do what you got to do. So that's why she jumped up out the bed. She didn't look sick no more. She jumped out and ran out crying. So I'm waiting and letting the commercials go through. Again, you could go through YouTube and click on different links to watch. But I do, again, this testing is just to hear it, to see how it goes when people are just listening to the movies the way our great grandparents and grandparents used to have to do. They listened by radio. And even with some of them, the things on radio seem just as real. So the stories that got passed down to them through radio versus records, became a reality. It became a simulation of life. Okay, here we go. It's back on.
Well, even you don't hanker for big pearl.
I do hanker, Papa.
It's powerful musky.
Oh, no need for musty body. Just soak them good in manganate of potash water.
Need some more milk.
Yes, sir.
Agamemnon, you black scoundrel, get in here. Help Lucretia Borgia. Tell me how many seconds you bring us, Lucretia Borgia.
24, master.
24. Here's twins. 2 of them. But she bred out now. Too old.
Yes, sir, master.
I'm calling you, ma'am. I'm begging you to stick face.
Papa, don't get yourself riled now. It ain't good for your rheumatism.
I'll get Master Hammond to take care of this. You're hide off you.
Oh, no, master, don't hide me, please, sir. I be sprite.
Do you have any religion for your niggers, Mr. Maxwell?
Hell no. More religion they gets, the ornerier they gets. Harder to drive.
Don't worry none about their immortal souls.
They ain't got no mortal souls. They gets to thinking they has souls. They gets to thinking that's as good as white folk. Ma'am, you reckon you got a soul?
Well, ladies and no count stupid godforsaken nigga like me can't have so much.
Well, some folks think they got souls and go to heaven, too.
Them abolitionists up north don't say as good as whites.
Damn sons of bitches.
Did he say them aboriginals?
By God, himself. They gets a right happy eating, working, fornicating. Abolitionists. Cranks and loonies, trifling loonies, interfering in other folks' business.
You rheumatiz.
I don't give a damn about my rheumatiz. Don't do this, don't do that. Gets worse. Whatever I do or quit doing.
Sleeping with one of them naked Mexican dogs. They say drains the rheumatiz right out of the man into the dog.
Yes.
A nigger just as good. One of them drain off the rheumatiz as good as any naked dog. Of course, you have to have that nigger sort of curl up around your feet, and then you gotta press hard and kindly force the rheumatiz right out in the soles.
Right.
Now he's talking about the twin boys that's standing right next to them fanning.
I'm going. Chris Boys, you tell Lucy you get Big Pro ready.
Right, glad to hear that, sir.
Good boy. He looked like he'd be a right vigorous stud.
He's shy about his leg. When he was 6 years old, a year after his mother died, a pony threw him off, stepped on his knee.
And just do everything he say, everything.
They getting Big Pearl ready.
And don't let no thoughts, no difference how you feel. And don't forget to say thank you, whether he gives you nothing or not.
What's the record of the pride for Lana? White Master taking you first.
This stuff looks awful, Mama.
Smells good to white noses.
Heard Doc Redfield talking. Say a marinated winch stays sweet smelling for 2 days.
I be smell like this for 2 days.
Hush up now. I told you not to let on you're sick.
Oh, man, go on.
All right, Lucy. Chris Boys, you can go.
You act like I told you now.
Yes, Mama.
You're gonna have to help me with my boots. You glad about this, Big Pearl? Big Pearl?
Sure, Master Hammer. What Mama said.
What'd she say?
She say it'd be right joyful.
She right?
One of the little boys crawl up to try to look up under the door to see what's going on.
How y'all feel laying here chained while a white man walk about, do his pleasure with a black girl? Mayhaps you don't have no feelings at all, like that pecker would say. Feelings like some old dumb animal that don't count no harm. Y'all hear me?
In Africa, my people are born free.
That's right. Free men, not slaves, masters of our own selves, and of the forest and the rivers and the mountains. You don't think that deep down that Peckerwood don't know we's as human as he is? What for you reckon he keep us from learning and religion and reading?
Another commercial. Dog, I wish they didn't have so many commercials. Okay, so so the one who you hear saying we in Africa, we's free, we ain't slaves like over here. But he's the one that's standing at the table who said, yeah, master, I don't have no soul, not no downright low down dirty nigga like me, right? And then when he get in the barn with the rest of the slaves, he's saying, where we from, we were free and kings. But if you were free and kings, how you get over here all slaved and trapped up in the first place? I'm just saying, what part happened? What happened where you lost that kingdomship? Huh? Then the one who keep running and running away and getting caught, and they got him branded, he chained up. He the only one chained up, and the only reason why he chained up because he wanted to keep running and leaving. So the girl that was in the one they call Big Pearl, again, she was a virgin too, but she was set aside. They say they had to break her in, but he didn't fall in love with her because their situation was already arranged. It was an arranged situation. So usually, even like in other countries, when you hear about arranged marriages and arranged something, it's and it didn't come natural, no matter how pure it is, It didn't come naturally, just seemed out of place. But he wasn't in the movie in itself. It doesn't show like how the story is written, that he was raping her or anything like that. He seemed to be very gentle with her. The reason why he asked for her, he said, "You're going to have to help me with my shoe," is because of his leg. He had that stiff leg. And from when the pony damaged his knee when he was 6 years old. So, I wish it wasn't so many commercials. I think after this next set, I'm gonna find another way where I'm not dealing with these commercials to share the movies.
And reading.
This is just an experiment, like I said.
There's a fear that deep down we is human. Him? You bring that copy out, Pig?
Yeah, I got it.
Show these brethren how to read.
Oh, Lord, our God, other lords beside thee have had dominion over us, but by thee only will we make much mention. Be meaning to speak of. Mention of thy name.
What are you doing here, ma'am? Let me see what you got there. Give it to me, ma'am. Give it to me. Damn. You can read, can't you? And write. Who learned you, ma'am? It was you, huh, Cicero? Damn, get out of here. My papa done well to sell you. Reading, hell, you know what you can get for reading. Go on.
You've got to keep your feet pressed hard on his belly now, so the rheumatoid drains right out in the soles. All right?
Yes, Doc.
All right. Hammond?
So they got this little naked boy at his feet,
Good night, all.
with his feet pressed against his stomach, talking about that would drain the arthritis.
Good night, Chuck. Good night.
Papa, I gotta peel man's rump.
What he did?
Well, he just been getting too uppity, y'all.
You protecting him again? What he do now?
Papa, I catch man reading. He can read.
Reading? That dumbass blockhead nigger reading? I don't want to see it. You know what old Sam tells us to do with reading niggers? Puts out an eye. Cures them good. One eye, not two. Grinders no damn use, but one eye's workers hard. Don't give no more trouble.
Oh, Papa, no, I just whoop him a bit, y'all.
Tain't enough.
That's all, Papa. Allow him to do it.
And whooping fierce. Hammond, you gotta cut deep. Cause a nigga don't feel physical punishment soon as a white man. And you rub in the pimentade after. Hurts like hell, but heals the scars right clean. And tell Lucretia Borgia to use fresh red pepper in the pimentade, fresh lemon, and plenty of salt.
Yes, sir. Good night, Papa.
Plenty of salt, I say.
Yes, sir.
Reading.
You pray for Memnon tonight, Moss?
Ain't no use me praying for you. Seeing as how you can do it for your own self. May have tomorrow. After you've been whooped. Now get. Yes.
Master, so Master, I knocked up.
Well, I've been looking for that.
Master, when my sucker come, can't I keep it?
It's for your own good, Daddy. So that you won't feel bad if we go to sell it. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I awake, pray the Lord my soul to take.
Haul him up, Pokey.
Please, Miss Hammond.
Go on, man.
You sure look funny hanging up.
Shut your mouth, mate. Now, stand off from him, so like, and aim for his bottom.
Now the thing about Hammond was so sensitive
Don't you slam his
in
back.
his care for the black people that he couldn't even get the nerve up to beat them.
Go ahead.
And that bothered him so much he walked out of the barn. He don't even want to watch Hammond getting beat. So it's another black guy beating him, right? But here come Cousin Charles.
You ain't doing that right. Give me that.
Ooh.
Now this is how you do it. Who the hell are you to touch my niggers? Cousin Hammond. Don't you recognize me? We was littlins. I'm Charles, Major Woodford's son from Crowfoot Plantation. Cousin Charles? Come up the house.
All right. That's enough. This is just a test because I'm going to have to find a way that I can share these movies without having to deal with all these long drawn out commercials. And again, I want to do it the old school way that we're listening to the movie and seeing how weird and unrealistic it sounds. Or if, like me, my experience right now is because I know the truth. When I'm watching these movies that usually like around that time, anytime movies like this come out, then you have a whole set of people that grow up or come out of it that want to riot, or they believe it. They become racist. I don't know, but I'm gonna find another way because I'm not happy with the way I have to like mute between these long drawn out commercials. And it seemed like when I was watching it yesterday, it wasn't this many commercials coming on. I'm telling you, intervals in between was like a commercial every half an hour. Now it seemed like it's like every 15 minutes. It's like, yeah, we don't know what you think you're trying to do, but this ain't gonna work. But again, it's a funny movie to me. And all the actors and actresses that acted in this movie, now that I think about all of the movies and how people get in their feelings and their emotions about so-called history, but the people who make the movies, they don't go and protest and riot and things like that for these movies. They go and they enjoy a good dinner, a good steak, they go to their parties, and enjoy each other's company afterwards, have coffee before the roles. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just hilarious. I may come back later and go back to, because this is kind of not well put together. Because again, I wasn't contemplating the effects of the long drawn out commercials. It's back on.
Master's misery drain right through my belly.
You lying little buck. I still feel my rheumatiz here.
Awful.
Get down there.
That's one of the twin boys. Every time he run by, he gotta put his feet on him to get the arthritis out. So he was trying to say that he could feel the arthritis in his body.
Major Woodford, Charles's pa, it's bad press. Charles come with a letter from him, asking to borrow money. You mind to? May have. If you take to Charles's little sister, Cousin Blaine. Oh, Papa, you starting now. It's time for us to be a thinking of an heir for Falconhurst. You need a wife lady to give you a son with human blood. Not them suckers of yours from wenches. I wouldn't know what to do. Not with no white lady.
Okay, let me pause it. So see, even in this movie, even if the writers wrote in a particular way that may have been unrealistic, in the part of their realism, they say in this script, he says, I need you to get with your cousin so that we can have human blood. I'm gonna end it right here. He said, I need you to get with your cousin so we can keep human blood in our family. Not those mixed breeds that you having all over the plantation. There's two type of mankind. There was the human kind from the earth, and then the light beings, the originals. And I ended just like that. Like I said, I'm find out another way that I can have my not by sight movie matinees be a little bit more structured, greater light, and catch you on the rebound. Greater light.